Alrighty, guys, I think it's been a long time coming, and I wanted to make this segment sort of as an update and just a pulse check on where we are with the MCU. And so in today's segment, I'm going to be ranking, for me personally, every single officially announced MCU project that is going to be upcoming and my anticipation for it as we wait for Wonder Man coming out later on in the year, and of course Spider-Man Brand New Day next year. We don't have that many MCU projects coming out over the next few years, and so I thought let's just take a look at the officially announced MCU projects as of the recording of this segment. Now this segment, I don't frankly know what episode of the Access Blockbusters Pod it's coming out in, probably sometime in August or September. That could have aged very poorly if I waited and saved this for October, November, December, but I'm probably going to be releasing it pretty soon. And so, projects might be announced. Like, for example, just spoiler alerts, Shang-Chi 2, as much as I would love for this film to be officially announced, is not going to be on this list because, while yes, it has sort of been confirmed that it's in development, nothing has happened with it for a long time. Destin Daniel Cretton may not get to this until 2028 or 2029, so no, Shang-Chi 2 is not on this list, unfortunately. But in the intervening time between recording and the upload, Shang-Chi 2 might be announced for all we know. So, again, apologies, bear with me if you don't hear about something that has been officially announced in the meantime. That is my criteria, guys. We're not going to be talking about Shang-Chi 2. We're not going to be talking about Deadpool 4 because those, basically the criteria for this is projects that have been officially announced to be in development and production at various stages. So those are the projects that we're going to be definitely adding to the list. And then other projects that Kevin Feige himself or other actual MCU producers themselves have been talking about as in some kind of active development. So unfortunately, no Shang-Chi 2, no Armor Wars. It just seems like that movie is not happening right now. No Midnight Suns, that's a rumored movie. No Young Avengers or Champions, that's rumored. Really, I have 9 projects here. You can argue with me in the comments, totally open to that I missed something that you think should be on this list, but these are the 9 projects that I think are in some kind of active development. There's one in particular that I think you might go, is it really though? We'll see. We'll talk about that. So let's go from number 9 to number 1. My most anticipated projects for the MCU coming up in the future. Number 9 is that aforementioned series Wonder Man. And truthfully, I think I would be more excited about this if not for the fact that I know next to nothing about Wonder Man as a character. I like Ben Kingsley and I like Yahya Abdul-Mateen. I think they're great actors, but I don't know how this would fit into the MCU. I don't know if it's going to turn into a kind of She-Hulk spoof. It doesn't seem like it, but I frankly don't know what to make of this series. Also, it's going to be, I think, 8 or 9 episodes, and they're going to be about 20 to 22 minutes long, which again, I have no problem with sitcom format, right? The 22-minute episodes. I love sitcoms. Friends is my favorite show of all time. But only 8 episodes of that? That just seems a little lackluster for me. So I don't know. I'm interested. But I'm just not sure what to expect. So number 9 is Wonder Man. Number 8 is that also aforementioned, perhaps controversial pick on this list is Blade. Because you might be going, why is Blade on this list, but Armor Wars isn't? Or Midnight Suns isn't, or Young Avengers isn't? Blade, because we recently got an update from Kevin Feige who said, we're doing it. We're still doing it. And there have been a number of confirmations from producers and Kevin Feige when asked about, if this movie is going to happen. And he's like, yep, it's happening. So Blade is on this list. It's very low because, let's be honest, if you asked me in 2021 or 2022, after the pandemic, how excited are you for Blade? It would have been much higher on this list. And it would have been even higher had I watched Luke Cage earlier because he's great. Mahershala Ali is great as Cottonmouth. But is it going to happen? I don't know. What version of this is going to come out? I don't know. Not fear, but my thought with this is that it's going to happen at some point. Mahershala Ali is just going to make one Blade standalone film, and it's going to be fine. And then we're all just going to move past it and be like, really? All that for one fine Blade movie? So I feel like that's going to happen and it's going to be disappointing, but what can you do about that? So number 8 rather, is Blade. Number 7 is Vision or Vision Quest. Everyone keeps calling it Vision Quest. Even the official Wikipedia page, which I was looking into just to confirm I had all the projects I wanted on this list, calls it Vision Quest. Has anyone actually called it Vision Quest? If you guys know, let me know in the comments and link some articles where I'm talking about the actual actors like Paul Bettany, or James Spader, or the showrunner Terry something, the guy who did Star Trek, one of the Star Trek shows. Let me know in the comments if somebody's actually called it Vision Quest. And everyone's been calling it that, and I have been colloquially referring to it as Vision Quest, but nobody's actually said that. Anyways, I'm interested in this show. I really like Paul Bettany. Again, you guys know, I have this just infatuation with WandaVision. It is one of my favorite MCU shows ever, one of my favorite MCU projects ever. I love WandaVision. I love Vision. I'm not sure what to make of all this. The AI is coming to life. The Fridays and Jarvis's, I think Jarvis is going to be in this. I don't know. Edith's and whatnot coming to life, and then Ultron is back, and then is it going to tie into Agatha and WandaVision at all? I don't know what to make of it. I'm sure if I see a trailer, I'm going to be like, wow, this is really interesting. I don't know. I have no idea what this is. So for now, Vision Quest is going to be pretty low on this list because also the 6 projects above it are fascinating, ranging from fascinating to super excited for. So Vision Quest, just by proxy, is going to be here at number 7. Number 6 might surprise you. Avengers Secret Wars. I fear that this movie is going to be a mess. An absolute mess. Now, for us comic book and Marvel fans, it might be a glorious mess of cameos and X-Men and old Fantastic Four actors. And again, I've said this before. I think everybody and their mother will be in Avengers Secret Wars. Chris Evans will be back as Captain America. I'm sure if he's not back in Doomsday already. I'm sure Scarlett Johansson might even cameo. Zoe Saldana might even cameo. All the Guardians, like everybody's gonna be in this movie because it is, I think, Kevin Feige's big last love letter to the previous regimes and previous characters. I don't know if that's going to lead to a good movie. It might lead to just a crazy amount of highlight and clips and YouTube shorts, that people like, oh, look, it's Toby interacting with Hugh Jackman, who's interacting with Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, who's interacting with, what's his name? Who played a Hulk in Eric Bana. There we go. Eric Bana. It's like it could be just that, but I don't know if that's going to lead to a good movie. So we'll have to see. But I have some trepidations about Avengers: Secret Wars, despite the fact that my inner comic book movie nerd is pretty excited about it. To be honest, number 5 is also a movie. Again, you might argue with this that why is this on the list and not other movies? But Black Panther 3, because Black Panther 3 has been referred to by Kevin Feige and a bunch of other people at Marvel, and it seems like it is pretty much in active development at this point. I think Ryan Coogler might be doing another movie before that, but then I think it will be Black Panther 3. And I think Black Panther 3, I just don't know what direction they're going to go in. Is there going to be a T'Challa quote-unquote recast or soft rebooting of the universe? And what is really, actually, this movie and another one that we'll talk about later on in the list are both kind of in this shroud of what does the MCU look like post Secret Wars, because Black Panther 3 is definitely not coming out before Secret Wars. So what does the MCU, what does Wakanda look like? Is it going to be Shuri as the Black Panther? Is it going to be T'Challa the second? Is it going to be T'Challa multiverse variant as Black Panther? I don't know. All of the above? Maybe. Could be multiple Black Panthers. I don't know. So I'm intrigued, and really why this is pretty high on the list, relatively speaking at least, is because in Ryan Coogler I trust. Ryan Coogler is a phenomenal filmmaker. Again, I watched Sinners earlier a couple months ago, I think, or a month ago, and I acknowledge that is not a movie made for me. I mean, the horror aspects and the gore and the vampire, it's not made for me. Not my kind of movie. But it is so competently made, and it again, I just acknowledge that the artistry behind that movie is phenomenal. So I trust Ryan Coogler, and I think he's going to do great. Coming in at number 4, though, is the other post-Secret Wars movie, and that is X-Men. We don't know anything about this. We don't even know who the mutants are. We know Jake Schreier is doing X-Men. He directed Thunderbolts. I really like Thunderbolts. I think he's going to do great with an ensemble of mutants, and I'm excited. I love the mutant characters. I just don't know. What is it going to be? But I am so interested to see how Kevin Feige tackles the mutants. Nobody got Fantastic Four right until Kevin Feige did. And he really cares about those characters, and he really cares about the X-Men. So I'm very curious to see what he's going to do there. Coming in at number 3, a show that has quietly wrapped filming and is heading into post-production and might release in a few months, honestly, in maybe early 2026, Daredevil Born Again Season 2. The reason I'm so excited about this, we are doing our Defenders rewatch, and I've been really enjoying it. Even though I haven't loved every single season, to be quite honest with you, I've been really enjoying it because I've been learning more about these characters who I think a lot of them are going to appear in this show. I wouldn't be surprised to even Danny Rand or Colleen Wing show up in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I think Daredevil Born Again Season 2 might be a pseudo-Defenders show, but that's not really the point. Really, the point of my excitement is that, while I thought Daredevil Born Again Season 1 had potential, and you can tell, I really think out of all the projects, even compared to something like a Captain America Brave New World, you can tell Daredevil Born Again was stitched together. It is so uneven, and the story is so disjointed, and again, we can toss around the word faults, but you can just tell. But the groundwork has been laid for an amazing second season, and really the parts that they got right were amazing. The action was just as brutal and just as well choreographed as the first 3 seasons of Daredevil. The conflict, the base of the conflict between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk is still there. So I think that we're really building towards a grander and more a season that's more in line with the first 3 seasons of Daredevil, with Daredevil Born Again season 2, and that to me gets me very, very, very excited. So Daredevil Born Again season 2 coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, might surprise you, is Spider-Man Brand New Day, instead of the one at number 1, which of course you know, and we'll talk about why that's number 1 in just a second. Spider-Man Brand New Day would be number 1 because, I mean, the other 3 Spider-Man films, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home, are 3 of my favorite movies in the MCU of all time. It is amazing to me how those 3 films are so consistent in quality, in my opinion. Even Far From Home, which some people think is fine or not that good, I love Far From Home. I adore that movie. So, to me, right, who wouldn't be excited for Spider-Man 4? Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of Shang-Chi, amazing get. Punisher is there. And then it starts to get a little weird because all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what is going on with this movie? Why is Hulk in this movie? Who's the villain? I mean, Scorpion's going to be there, but I mean, what is this movie? And to me, that's really why it's preventing me from putting it at number 1, because Kevin Feige said street level movie. Great. The Hulk? Scorpion? Tarantula maybe? Boomerang? Like what is this movie? So I'm more curious than anything else about this film, and I really don't know what to make of it, but I'm excited. I mean, it's Tom Holland, he's back as Spider-Man. I'm very, very excited. But coming in at number 1, which might surprise you, just given the state of the MCU, is Avengers Doomsday. I don't know if Avengers Doomsday is going to work. Frankly, that might be why it's number 1 on this list, because there is such a curiosity factor with this movie. I feel very good that Spider-Man Brand New Day is gonna be a hit, and I'm gonna like it. I feel very good that Daredevil Born Again season 2 is gonna be a hit, and I'm gonna like it. Avengers Doomsday? I have no idea. But the ingredients are there. Robert Downey Jr. is back, and he's Doctor Doom. That in itself, okay. You have my attention. Coming off the fact also that Fantastic Four First Steps is amazing, in my opinion, and sets up Avengers Doomsday really well. Not going to spoil anything, but it sets it up really well. Thunderbolts, same thing. Really liked it. All those characters are back, and it sets up Doomsday very, very well. Adding on top of the fact that the Russo brothers are back, on top of the fact that the X-Men are there, everyone seems to be having a great time on set, and it just seems glowing. And all the X-Men and the original Avengers, like the current day roster of the Avengers, whatever that means, and then the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts. It seems like something is happening there, where they're making something. They're making something special, I think, and special in what sense I don't know. But I'm just so curious to see what happens in this movie. In the Russos and the MCU, has to be, that qualifier has to be there. The Russos within the MCU we trust, because everything that they've done in the MCU has turned to gold. Everything that they've done outside of the MCU has really crumbled, and we're not going to talk about that. But it seems like this movie just might be something special. I don't know. It very well could. Out of these 9 projects, it could be the worst one. It absolutely could be. Because it could just crumble under the weight of something insurmountably ambitious. But it is ambitious, and I have to give it that. And all the elements seem to be lining up in a way that it's getting me really excited. So Avengers Doomsday, surprisingly, I put Spider-Man Brand New Day at number 1 automatically when I made the list on my own. And then I was like, is it really? And I think Doomsday is number 1. So I'm excited about it. So guys, those are my most anticipated projects for the MCU moving forward, number 9 to number 1. Let me know what your list would be in the comments down below. And again, you can argue with me that I should have put Shang-Chi 2 there. You should have argued I should have put Young Avengers up there. That's totally fine. This is my list. You can let me know your list in the comments down below.